The language of your country contrasted with the language of love. Now, for me personally, I believe the language of love is the language that reflects truth and honesty. Now, don't confuse my meaning when I say this and attach it to what I think the language of a country is. Now, what I mean by the language of a country decides on words and their meanings, but the individual spouting the words, now, they don't have to reflect the truth of how they feel. They can deceive a person. It doesn't reflect the true nature of the self. All it does is make sense of what you can see and hear. It does not reflect the self. Now, love is the language of the self. So, when atheists want the truth, and believers want the truth also, right? You have to look at love. You see, look at your country, right? I'll look at my country, right? Now, it's an opinion of how you want to interpret the world. But knowing a language doesn't mean you understand anything about yourself. I mean, language is about the control over people of how they perceive things. You see, atheists say, oh well, believing in God controls you. Well, learning a language also controls you because you have to obey the format of the language. Now, people jump from one language to the other, and there's nothing wrong with that. You take an interest in a culture, but it just reflects that there's no true guidance in language. There is no, the language itself does not give answers for humanity. It just means they're creative in putting into words what something is. There could be 200 ways of saying what this is. Now, that there's no truth in that. What's the point of making things more complicated? Now, when you talk about love, now there's a standard there, and you're bound by that standard. But not only that, you're bound by honesty. That's why people ridicule couples, because some couples have that honesty in their relationship, because love compels them to be honest. God's love compels people to preach to people because it reflects the truth about the state of humanity. Well, that's it. That's all I want to say. Any replies as usual? Type them in the box below. Au revoir.